It's been a little while, and so I wanted to do something kind of fun. I hope you can't hear the birds. I'm trying to pick like the best times to film. We're still working on that. But I'm gonna do two because why not? Okay, so you'll see the hat, Tales from the Crypt. I'm a really big fan, grew up with that. I'm not sure why anybody let me watch that show, but good memories. And I have like most of it on DVD. I'm missing like the very last season, I believe season 7, like the British one. Yeah, I have the rest. And so I went to this Halloween shop, like not Halloween shop, like it's it was like a horror Halloween memorabilia, like collectibles kind of shop, which is really cool because you don't really see that sort of thing anymore. But it had like the neon colors and like the movie posters and like all like the old decorations and Halloween tchotchkes, and it was awesome. And I went and they had these trading cards. Now I don't know if I'm gonna like any more or anything like that, but they're really cute, and so I'm just gonna read through them. They're fun. They're the got a little lipstick there. Tales from the Crypt. And Universal Monsters of the Silver Screen. So, to go with the hat, I'm going to read these. Now, they're vintage. So I tried to keep the packaging as well as I can, but I know you're not really supposed to open them, but I can't help it. I want to touch all the vintage things. So these are from 1993. Fake left and drive for the casket. And this is number 49 from episode number 49, Split Personality. This episode features a Las Vegas scam artist who lives by the number 2 when he becomes romantically involved with twin sisters. He sees the opportunity for a twin spin con job. What actor played the scam man? Joe Pesci. here he is done up. Like, rock and roll Elvis skeleton. This is number 94. List of the maddest musicians. It's just like a bunch of their little puns. Number 1, George Straitjacket. Number 2, Lice Tea. Number 3, Bloody Rate. Number 4, Red Hot Swilly Lepers. Number 5, Hurl Jam. Number 6, Boils to Men. Number 7, Dead Zeppelin. Number 8, Cyanide O'Connor. Number 9, Frank Sinatra, like snot. Oh. Number 10, Billy Joel. For anybody who's never seen this show, like I'm not sure who that would be, but it's known for its really silly, kitschy humor. So this is one of the old comic covers. Number 78, Jack the Ripper. Tales from the Crypt, February 1953, so that issue. Constantly searching for new material, Gaines and Feldstein borrowed an idea from a Ray Bradbury story. Bradbury wrote that he was flattered, but where was his royalty check? This started a 2-year period over which many of Bradbury's best were adapted by E.C. This issue includes cover art by Jack Davis, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, drawn by Jack Davis, Oils Well, That Ends Well, drawn by George Evans, Attacks of Horror, drawn by Jack Kamen, and There Was an Old Woman story by Ray Bradbury and drawn by Graham Ingalls. So, for anybody who's like an aficionado of the old comics, there's a bunch of information. This is another one. But this one was called The Crypt of Terror. Number 63, Voodoo Drums. Crypt of Terror, August 1950. Bill Gaines had a goal of building a star system for the best comic book artists in the business. One of his greatest talents as a publisher and editor was casting the stars into roles which best suited their individual talents. This issue contains cover by Johnny Craig, Ghost Ship illustrated by Al Feldstein, The Hungry Grave illustrated by Graham Ingalls, Caveman illustrated by Johnny Craig, and Zombie illustrated by Johnny Craig. I'm just reading through them because why not? More to listen to, right? Fall asleep. These are like producer guys. Number 108. The executive producers of Tales from the Crypt are some of the most successful producers and directors in the entertainment business. In the Crypt, with their favorite ghoul from left to right, or Richard Donner from the Lethal Weapon series, Joel Silver from Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, Robert Zemeckis from the Back to the Future series, Walter Hill from 48 Hours, and David Giler from Alien, who is not available for this picture. Okay, so it's another one of the old comics. Number 73, Coffin Barrier, from Tales from the Crypt, April 1952. This issue brings in a new era with the first Jack Davis cover art. He did such an impressive job that he was assigned all the rest of the Crypt covers. In Gaines's opinion, Davis was the perfect artist. He worked very fast, had a great feel for horror, and he had a distinctive style which the EC fans loved. This issue includes cover art by Jack Davis, Grounds for Horror, drawn by Jack Davis, A Rotten Trick, drawn by Joe Orlando, Bored to Death, drawn by Jack Kamen, and A Sucker for a Spider, drawn by Graham Ingalls. the end here. Please take my money, but don't kill me again. This is number 46. Loved to Death from episode 25. In this episode, where Mariel Hemingway plays an actress who becomes obsessively attracted to an undiscovered screenwriter played by Andrew McCarthy, how does he meet his untimely demise? Answer: he accidentally drinks the poison that was intended for her. I don't really remember that episode, but I should have it. And the last one in my little set here. Sometimes this job really sucks. And this is number 42 from The Undertaking Parlor, episode number 33. And this story about professional courtesy between a pharmacist and a mortician. Why did the kids decide to go to the mortuary? Answer: one of the kids dared the others to make a horror movie in the mortuary. I remember that episode. It was pretty good. So, just got how many cards? 7, 8. So you get 8 cards. And I like supporting mom and pop shops and fun, odd, weird, gothy, oddities type businesses. So I might be back to get more just for fun. They're not going to be worth anything though, because I keep opening them, so I don't know, but it's fun. Share them with the kids, they love it. So, and this one is the Universal Monsters. And this one is also vintage. This is from 1996. So, the other cards are from 93. These are from 96. Okay. So, this is a movie poster for This Island Earth. A lobby card from the 1955 theatrical release of This Island Earth. These rigid full-color cards were placed on easels in the lobby of theaters showing the film. They featured original art or production photos and are highly prized by collectors today. These are numbered differently. This one's sticker card S10. I don't know if that means there's like a whole lot more of these, but I never saw this movie. Heard of it, but I never saw it. Okay, here's where we're getting into my classics that I know. This one is card number 18. The Bride of Frankenstein, 1935. Arguably the greatest horror film of them all, the first sequel to Frankenstein is an audaciously stylish exercise in Baroque filmmaking and gallows humor. Colin Clive repeats his role as the high-strung Henry Frankenstein blackmailed by amoral Dr. Pretorius Ernest Thesiger, I don't know how to say that, into creating a mate for his creature. But not even tailor-made bride Elsa Lancaster can stand to look at Karloff, who grants himself the ultimate divorce by blowing the lot of them to kingdom come. I never saw the ending, so a nearly 100-year-old movie, but spoiler alert for me, you know. Another picture from Calling Dr. Death in 1943, and this is card number 44. To satisfy Cheney Jr.'s demand for better parts, Universal obtained the rights to the Inner Sanctum name from Simon & Schuster for a series of otherwise unrelated films in which the star usually played a victim of bizarre circumstances. In Dr. Death, he's a neurologist who comes to doubt his own sanity when his wife is murdered and suspicion falls on him. In the end, he clears himself by tricking the real killer into confessing under hypnosis. I never saw this one, but I know Lon Chaney Jr. from The Wolfman, so. Everybody knows this guy. This is card number 9 for Frankenstein, 1931. This picture would certainly have been different if, as originally planned, it had been directed by Robert Florey and had starred Leslie Howard as Frankenstein with Bela Lugosi as the monster. The reasons stated for the use instead of James Whale, Colin Clive, and Boris Karloff are many and often contradictory. But there is no doubt that the film is finally produced as one of the most beloved and enduring of all time. I mean, the makeup is really heavy, so it probably wouldn't have made too much of a difference visually. But Bela Lugosi as Frankenstein would have definitely sounded differently. I like it the way it is. This is from Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, card 73, movie from 1953. Good production values and a strong performance by Karloff with athletic Eddie Parker doubling as Mr. Hyde in effective makeup that more resembles ape than man raised this near to the top of the Abbott and Costello series. In Victorian London, the comedians encounter a Jekyll nearly as sinister as his hideous alter ego. Naturally, Costello is also injected with the famous formula before the evil doctor's depredations are brought to an end. I saw the Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That one was pretty funny. It was a classic. Haven't seen that one. This is card 26 from 1939's The Tower of London. And I've never seen that either, but this portrayal of the rise of Richard III as a horror story is another case of misrepresented melodrama, this time given credence by the presence of Boris Karloff as the wholly fictional Mord, Richard's pet executioner, and with horror stars to be Basil Rathbone and Vincent Price as Richard and the Duke of Clarence, respectively. But the emphasis on Richard's sadistic qualities does perhaps raise mere villainy to a monstrous level. You can always kind of recognize Karloff, even with the makeup. Okay, this card I hated when I first opened this because I really hate bugs. And I avoid, and I've like never really seen any bug movie because I'm just like, no. But so there's this card number 83 from 1957's The Deadly Mantis. Another poor relation of them, the tidal insect is imprisoned in an Arctic iceberg until an earthquake releases it. The efforts of Colonel Craig Stevens only drive the thing into increasingly populated areas, and after causing trouble in Washington, the mantis is finally dispatched by gas in the Holland Tunnel, smashing numerous vehicles. in its death throes. The simple plot is not helped by even simpler special effects. So basically they're saying this is a really cheesy movie, and I love that, but I hate bugs, so I'm not gonna watch it, but maybe someone here might like it. Okay, coming to the end of these cards. A scared lady. This is card number 72 from It Came from Outer Space, 1953. I haven't seen that one either. There's a lot of classic horror I have to catch up on, especially sci-fi stuff. That's just not really ever been my thing. I'm more into like the monsters or like the ghosts or supernatural or whatever. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Jack Arnold's first science fiction feature, shot in 3D, is unusual in that the ending is happy for both the human and alien characters. Aliens crash land in a meteor-like ship seen by astronomer Richard Carlson, who of course is not believed by fellow humans. The intelligent story from a treatment by Ray Bradbury and good performances by Carlson and Barbara Rush put this above the average sci-fi movie of the time. I really like almost no sci-fi, so. And just as I mentioned earlier, Bela Lugosi in Frankenstein makeup. He looks different, but it's really the way he sounded that would have totally changed it. This is card 47 from 1942's Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Haven't seen that. With Igor's brain now in the monster's skull, it made sense to put Lugosi into the Frankenstein makeup, but those Hungarian tones were too incongruous for studio execs, who ordered his dialogue scenes eliminated, along with the explanation of his blindness, creating the false impression of stumbling ineptitude on Lugosi's part. By default, Chaney Jr. steals the show up until the climactic showdown, a terrific battle ending with both swept away in a raging flood. They don't hold back on the spoilers with these. They just straight up give you the ending, but they figure if it's been like 80 years and you haven't watched the movie, then, well, but. So yeah, I like Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman here. That was a fun movie. I like the classic ones, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula. That sort of thing. Let's see, how many did they get here? Or rather, did I get? 9. Arbitrary and interesting. 8 in that one, 9 in this one. As I said, I may go back to get more. They also had like a lot of fun patches and pins and stickers and artwork. And like I said, like vintage Halloween tchotchkes and stuff. So it's gonna be a bit of a money pit for me. But you don't find mom and pop shops like this too often, especially, in your neighborhood. So you gotta support them while you have them. Like, we used to have this really, really cute neighborhood toy store before the pandemic, and it had like this wonderful little play area with like a slide and ball pit and stuff, and it used to have this whole other area where kids could do arts and crafts and have like parties to do different arts and crafts. And they had all these different crafts and stuff you can choose from. And they even offered classes. And then they just had all these toys, like all these different brand names and just all this fun stuff and like areas where you could try them. It was such a one-of-a-kind place. But then pandemic hit, not enough people, you know, coming out to support the small business, so it closed. So sad to see that place gone. And so when I see places that are fun and give a neighborhood a vibe that's really positive and nice and fun or whatever, it's like, gotta go spend your money there. So I'll definitely be back and show off more of the things that I shouldn't be buying, but I will be buying. So until next time, everyone.